the toss. They elected to defer. So Texas Tech is led by...
He's been dealing with the whole season long, but he got off to a bit of a slow start the first time these two teams played a month ago. It's important he starts faster today.
You saw those numbers. Third in all of major college football, averaging over 43 points per game. Morton to start the day. It is
shutdown level corner for BYU.
See, Jack Kelly, they consider him the most important piece of their defense. And get it quickly into space to Reggie Virgil as he weaves his way.
Of the game a little bit earlier, we've seen two very quick throws on this first drive.
Here's Dickey, and he won.
A practice boot, only doing mental reps, routes on air. This Wednesday, first day he got to take off the boot, healthiest he's been all season.
No doubt about it, Katie, as trying to find Terrence Carter.
Of a very quick throw, just trying to help this offense find its rhythm early.
Carter is top 6 in the country among tight ends with yards after the catch. So he goes for 5 there. Third down and 2. Dickey straight ahead as he powers his way for a first down.
Well, that's impressive at 215 pounds. Saw Tuala at safety. He's the one who's going to meet him there just beyond the line of scrimmage, and he's able to drive him back to pick up the first.
See the pace being set by Texas Tech early on as Morton.
Williams that are outstanding at catching the ball out of the backfield for their offensive coordinator. You see there, Matt Leftwich.
Leftwich who leads this offense. They've outscored opponents by 383 points this year. Second and 5. Dickey off left tackle.
Coming off the edge. Good tough running, and right now Texas Tech trying to establish some physicality.
Morton on first down. That ball was tipped at the from Utah. A Utah transfer to BYU. Second and 10. Keep it on the ground and early. They get so Jack Burgess. 10th play of the drive coming as Texas Tech in an empty set facing a 3rd and 13. Morton against a 4-man rush. Shallow cross, and it was nearly picked off. Parker Kingston muffed a punt early on that set up Texas Tech's first score. Fair catch just
to celebrate 7.
That's good news for BYU.
Start Bachmeier's day. L.J. Martin now as he works his way out beyond the 35-yard line.
And that's good news for BYU because their identity is to run the football, and that's something they didn't do a great job of the first time these teams played. They only averaged 2.5 yards per carry, so one way or the other, whether it's running the football or whether it's quick throws like you saw in the very first play of this drive, they've got to keep these third downs manageable. Right now doing a good job.
Here's Martin on 2nd and 3, but he is met and tackled for a loss. Jacob Rodriguez making his first big moment of the afternoon. You will likely see many of them.
Yeah, and he's a guy coming off the edge, plays with tremendous instincts. He's coming from the left side of the screen, just shoots the gap and makes a tackle for loss. Now making this third down just a little bit more interesting. And the big key for BYU, if this is a throw, can you protect Bachmeier against this pass rush?
With number 31, David Bailey, who leads the nation in sacks. You see him on the right side of your screen in that sprinter stance. Here's 3rd and 4. Bachmeier's going to try to do it with his legs, and he does. It's a first down BYU.
Well, that time Texas Tech, they only rush 4, but they get out of their lane. And there's just a big crease here, and there's a big crease here for Bear Bachmeier to run through. And he is mobile. unbelievable. He's a big quarterback, too, at 6'2", about 230, 235. Not phenomenal top-end speed, but good, quick decision there on third down to get north and move the chains.
Listen, he's thick. He's got that wide body. When he goes forward, you know he's gaining yards. Flea flicker, razzle dazzle as L.J. Martin cannot come up with the ball.
Well, that's a play that Martin has to be able to make. Offensive coordinator Aaron Roderick, after getting the first down with the scramble, decides to go with the trick play, but they did a good job covering this downfield. They were trying to get their tight end, Carson Ryan, down the boundary. Nothing there. Bachmeier checks it down quickly and makes the right decision, but in the end, falling incomplete.
He had A.J. Holmes, the big defensive tackle, charging in on him. Second down and 10. Here's Martin trying to get upfield. Does have blockers in front. And that'll make it third and about a yard and a half. And is tackled by Roberts.
Well, I love that play call because the quick screen to L.J. Martin, that's essentially a sweep play. That's an extension of the run game. And you're just trying to wait to get this thing in position to keep the chains moving. Really nice call by Aaron Roderick. Something that we've seen with L.J. Martin throughout the year, lining him up at wide receiver. Very versatile runner that can get it done not just in handoffs, but catching the ball too.
And Roberts, by the way, is down at the end of that play. The other star linebacker who doesn't get as much attention or credit as J-Rod, but he's a big part of what they do defensively. We'll take a quick timeout.
Has impacted this specific position group, I think, more than any other position group on any other team in the country.
Yeah, big reason why they've got that 4 next to their name, and they're playing trying to surge his way, and they find a stop on third and 1. Quick to the line, Bachmeier, and other side.
No,
You gave him the really side.
I gave him an opportunity to really be honest, and he was. And we've seen some good physical running from him on this first drive.
Bachmeier threw it a little high for breath moments. It's Carson Ryan.
Kickoff.
And Chris, we've talked about it all week.
Whatever they did in practice is able to go take advantage of.
Well-managed current drive for BYU.
It's interesting, right? Very different tempos.
Yes.
You watch Texas Tech on offense, up-tempo, air raid going fast. BYU likes to huddle, and they run the football, short throws. They try to win the time of possession.
Officials are looking at the spot of this football. To the eye, it looked like perhaps he was just short. Wound up at BYU.
Short of the line of the game. It is third down.
An El Paso native back here in Texas. And he's really the keystone for this offense to build some success today as they were marked as a 3rd and 1. And this time he's able to drive ahead and secure that first down.
Well, they bring in an extra offensive lineman, Trevin Ostler, 6'4", 320 pounds, number 95 there. He'll come into games, short yardage and goal line situations. They lined him up to the left side of the offensive line. That's exactly where they ran behind. And they're going to need all that beef in this game, too, because statistically, Texas Tech is the best run defense in college football.
BYU converts there. They're 3 for 3 on third downs early on. They fake it, and it's a pass, and it's complete to Ryan. Parker Kingston with a completed pass to Carson Ryan.
Carson Ryan, who we saw slow to get up a few plays ago, does a really nice job here faking a block, and he's gearing down and then kind of gets out into the route. It's a good fake reverse by Kingston, and he's a lefty, so going to his left makes that an easier throw. In 2 plays on this drive, we've seen BYU and offensive coordinator Aaron Roderick dial up some trick plays.
He is the do-it-all kind of guy, is Parker Kingston. He's had a passing touchdown, a rushing touchdown, a receiving touchdown, a punt return touchdown.
Appleby.
After this play, his teammate Cole Wisniewski fell on him while they tackled Bear Bachmeier. He warmed back up in the team box. He's returned to the field, guys.
They Rodriguez gets so much attention, but it's Ben Roberts who they feel is critical to what they do defensively. And now Texas Tech against this BYU offense that has marched down the field with a 12-play drive. Bachmeier, the big freshman quarterback, who's met right in that run-fit goal after a gain of just one by Ben Roberts.
But this drive is really synonymous with what BYU wants to do, right? They want to keep the ball, own the clock. This is now 13 plays on this drive, and they've done it running. They've had some quick throws to L.J. Martin. We've seen them be aggressive as well, Joe, with a couple trick plays, too. Just think, we were talking about this in the break. It shows you their mindset coming into this one.
Yeah, we were saying before kickoff, BYU wants to start this game where it feels like it's on their turn.
Yeah.
This is the kind of first quarter that feels that way as we're coming up close to 5 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Scoreless for now. L.J. Martin right in. And that is the first time Texas Tech.
L.J. Martin up, who had a great drive himself, running and catching the football.
Will Farron adds the
to throw into, and there's Reggie Virgil.
play for Texas. 3rd and 10 for Baron Morton. And that is complete to Reggie Virgil past midfield. A chunk play for Texas Tech.
A really nice job in pass protection that time, giving Baron Morton a nice clean pocket to throw into, and there's Reggie Virgil. I think he's their most explosive player on offense, running an in-breaking route. It took him a while to get there, but you see how dangerous he is after the catch.
30-yard reception. Cameron Dickey trying to get to that edge, and he goes ahead for a yard and a half.
You know, Joe, it's the most explosive offense in the country. 85 plays of 20 or more yards. And they can do it running. They can do it throwing. They excel at getting the guys the football in space. And it really is a pick-your-poison dilemma if you're BYU, because if you load the box to stop the run, you're dying at fast stats with these outside shots. If you play two high safeties, they're just going to run the ball down your throat.
Morton. He's going to go straight ahead. He's met after a gain of just 2 yards. Be facing a 3rd down again.
It was Isaiah Glasker that time that forced Morton to have to hold on to that football. Now setting up the 3rd down, and BYU that likes to play man coverage. It'll be interesting to see what they decide to do here.
3rd down and 6. Morton, it is complete for a 1st down. And again, it's Reggie Virgil.
Well, that was a zone coverage, and Virgil did a really good job finding the soft spot in his zone. He's going to be just looking for this hole to work his way into, and once he finds it, he just sits there. You see number 1? Right around the outside of the linebacker, runs into the referee, but it's a big pickup on 3rd down. A great job of recognizing the coverage by the Miami of Ohio transfer.
See, Reggie Virgil, he was limping after that play, so he's off on the sideline. The fastest guy on the team, who has come up big 2 times on this drive, just had that 17-yard reception. Morton. Carter, the athletic tight end. It doesn't take much for him, just a few strides.
The offense no longer calls it the red zone. They call it the no-stone zone. Stone's a great guy. They love him. They just don't want to see him that often.
Yeah, Katie, he's allowed to kick down here in this area of the field. It just has to be for extra points. That's the goal for the Red Raider offense this week.
There is Harrington, first team all Big 12, but right now it's the Red Raiders offense that wants to finish. And a timeout is used by Texas Tech. Well, of course, everybody tuning in here on this championship Saturday to say, how's everything going to break after weeks and weeks of debate? You know, we've got a game here that can simplify a lot of things.
I think so. I think the ACC championship is going to help us with the 11th seed and the 12th seed of the bracket. But I think this is the game that really determines Notre Dame and Miami. And if Texas Tech wins, all of a sudden that debate between Notre Dame and Miami comes a big thing. If BYU wins, though, those teams are out, and you get a new spot open in the top 4 as well. So lots still to be determined today. But no question, you're right, Joe. This game here, the Big 12 championship, it decides a lot.
Yeah, obviously, if you're Notre Dame, if you're Miami, if you're right there on the edge of the cliff, It's all about Texas Tech for you today. A BYU win and the Big 12 becomes a two-bid league. Texas Tech secured their spot. BYU would be the automatic qualifier with a conference championship. Off the timeout, first down. I'll see the kicker, Stone Harrington. So too much of him back on November 8th with the 5 field goal performance. They're looking for 7s. Out of the backfield is Dickey. Second down. Dickey bounces to the outside.
Timing has got to be perfect.
You can hear from this crowd that has traveled for BYU. This isn't Lubbock anymore. Third down and 3.
Off his offensive line.
That's something you can't do defensively. Come down here in the red zone.
Third down and 8. Morton. Virgil is wrapped up immediately.
When you can.
The goal was to
Downs, but Texas Tech's a good team. We just got to keep it.
Record 5 field goals in the November 8th win against BYU is on for this 23-yard attempt. And he puts it through. All right, let's go. Romello Height off the edge. And Bachmeier is
Patting up the awards as well, and I think deserving of an opportunity to be in New York City.
Bachmeier is driven back by that front as Height was the first to get there. Of course, Jacob
It's the same way. Coaches will tell you, you just can't coach that stuff.
Second and 11. That is batted.
Bailey's to the field. They don't have to blitz. They just get upfield with speed. Can BYU protect Bear Bachmeier?
Look at Romello Height off the edge on the bottom of your screen as they're just going to play it conservatively with 8-year-old Aussie. Jacoby Williams back to return for Texas Tech. They could have great field position. Williams, first wave of coverage, goes right past him as he takes it ahead and fights.
Out of hand.
Be in the playoff.
You can go to ESPN.com, fill in your own CFP bracket challenge presented by AT&T as Cameron Dickey takes it ahead for the Red Raiders.
It's such a unique offense whenever I watch Texas Tech, Joe, because they really are about power run, even though it's an air raid principal offense.
Dickey, as he is driven back that time to Mooney with the tackle.
And they line you up, they spread you out, they want to go fast in tempo, but they're not throwing it 50 times a game. Instead, it's plays like you just saw. It's downhill runs, and they're pulling offensive linemen. And they actually run the ball 48% of the time. They want to be physical, too. You've seen BYU be that, but remember, Texas Tech, they ran the football 43 times the first time these two teams played.
Third down, nearly tripped up was Dickey, but he's able to gain his footing and spin ahead as he goes past midfield for a first down.
And literally the same run play, 3 plays in a row. That's a simple zone scheme. It's designed to go to the right. Dickey sees the cutback to take it left.
Aaron Morton grew up locally in Lubbock as he connects with Dickey on the shallow cross, and he is tackled that time by Glasgow.
Well, it's a good job of seeing the linebackers bail out that time. It was Glasgow 16 that dropped back into zone coverage. You saw Aaron Morton, 0 hesitation, just finding his check down right now, taking the profit, and now setting up 2nd and 3.
Morton leads the Big 12 in completion percentage. Dickey again, just feeding that run game as he lowers the shoulders. They're going to mark him about a football length short of that line to gain.
That's not easy against this BYU front either, because Talmoy Piao and Tanu Vasa, those are big bodies up front to move.
Quick to the line, and with it, They had plenty of space and a first down for Texas Tech.
Well, that time, Texas Tech was able to get that movement. They were able to get a block on big number 55. Talamoipiao up front for BYU, and now you're seeing Texas Tech start to establish the line of scrimmage a little bit themselves. They're not going as fast. They're slowing down a little bit, but having a lot of success running the ball.
Also a nice job by the starting center, Sheridan Wilson, to seal on that last run. Here's Morton. Downfield strike, and brought in by Aiken.
This will be a touchdown.
Completed catch for a touchdown.
To see if they have the numbers there to snap. Instead, they bring it back in with Stone Harrington. But Hoyt Aiken with the 33-yard touchdown as Harrington adds the extra point. His offense. So Bear Bachmeier.
Big part of what they want to do, especially in between the tackles.
He will pass to open up this drive as he gets it to Kingston. Kingston able to jet around that.
They tweaked the offense. They trimmed some of the verbiage, but he's accounted for 25 touchdowns this year, and here he is. He's got his team on the doorstep of winning the conference and reaching the playoff.
When the year started, he had enrolled at Stanford as L.J. Martin takes it ahead. He's accounted for a touchdown in every game this season. Again, they get it to Kingston. A lot of traffic.
Because of that ankle in the first game, they double teamed the edges outside to try and block David Bailey and Romello Height. The problem with that, though, is they only got 3 guys out into routes and nobody was open downfield. How can they tweak their protection scheme to get more guys out and get more opportunities for open receivers?
There's the Big 12 defensive lineman of the year. 12.5 sacks for David Bailey. 3rd down and 7 for BYU.
Hold on to the football here and maybe throw this thing downfield.
Third down and 12. They go underneath to Martin, trying to set up the blocker. High snap. Vanderhaar's a fake, and it's incomplete.
And there's the Texas Tech offense. Down after the sudden. Sampson, the U.S.
Kelly, one of the outstanding special teams coordinators in the country, his time at BYU and then UVA. Here's Morton now. Back to business as he's run.
Tui able to force the errant throw.
So after the turnover on downs on the failed fake punt, here's Virgil.
Down after the sudden change and the fake punt fail. How big would it be if they could get off the field here?
So
tight end in motion. He's going to get a big.
Goes to Dickey with 3rd down and 3. After the penalty, after the turnover on downs, the failed fake punt. And the play call now goes to Dickey with the distance change of 3rd and 3, and with that, a chain mover, Texas Tech.
Well, they bring Terrence Carter Jr. a tight end in motion. He's going to get a big wham block coming from this side and seal this so they can run it right up the middle of the field. That's what Tui he's able to get on the block.
First down pass, it's overthrown in
down the field, and I think this coaching staff has done a better job in this matchup this year against BYU of just helping him get settled a little bit. They thought he was a little too juiced up the last time, missed some throws downfield, didn't give guys opportunities, was holding on to the ball and getting sacked. But he's looking a lot better early in this one.
Carter in motion, the athletic tight end. He's going to block for Dickey, who tries to bounce it to the outside before he is tackled by Alexander.
So now you get into that third down situation again if you're BYU. They don't have a tremendous pass rush with just their D linemen. Oftentimes, it's linebackers having to block. Keep your eye on number 17, Jack Kelly. He had 2 sacks the first time these two teams played. An outstanding blitzer at the linebacker spot, lined up here.
Third and 8. There is Kelly as Morton tries to spin free, somehow stays on his feet. Here's Stone Harrington again. This a 48-yard attempt. And this time it's wide left.
More dogs.
Drive, they went 14 plays.
The V Foundation at v.org/.
Third and long, where the pass rush for Texas Tech could not affect them. Now, they haven't been able to do that in these last couple of drives. So, again, it's important on first and second, whether you're throwing or running, you got to be getting some yards.
2nd and 6. Here's Martin. It's going to be 3rd and 1.
He's such a tough, physical runner and a guy that's always moving the pile. Leads the Big 12 in rushing yards, plays with great contact balance and low pad level. And he's a guy that can shoulder the load, too. He's a workhorse, Joe. And if they have to give him the ball 30-plus times in this game to win, they can do it because he's one of those guys who seems to get stronger as the game goes on.
Leads the Big 12 in rushing and broken tackles. Can he deliver here against that excellent front of Texas Tech? And he does. It's a first down for BYU.
Well, they brought on the extra O-lineman, Trevin Osler, at tight end. They're just trying to collapse the left side here to get this thing going north. And that's about 700 pounds at tight end and left tackle, getting a lot of movement against the Texas Tech defense, Joe, that's just giving up 68 rushing yards per game. They're not used to being moved around like that.
Keep it with Martin. And this time he's going to be tackled for a loss as David Bailey was pulling him back.
You know, it's amazing. I'm watching Bear Bachmeier after that handoff, and his bootleg, he's moving so gingerly. It doesn't even look like he can sprint or jog at a fast pace. And you just wonder how much that left ankle is bothering him that Chris had reported on a little bit earlier that he sustained on the first drive, because his mobility is not the same right now versus what it was at the start of this game.
Chris Budden's been monitoring that for the last few series. Jesse, you're taking note already here. 2nd and 11. How does it impact the true freshman? As Martin just about 1.5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage.
This is going back and just kind of watching him here on this throw. Everything has got to come out quick, and everything is going to have to be from the pocket. Even on that one there, he takes a tackle below the knee. Lucky that didn't re-aggravate anything.
So
Goes back where Bachmeier. Here's an opportunity to rush the passer. 3rd down and 10, and there's the best in the business. And the snap goes predictor. It
Be in the playoff.
really falls between the hashes before.
In their back pocket, running at the tempo they run at. That's a lot of time for Baron Morton here to get this offense down for an opportunity to steal a few more points before halftime.
Here's Morton as he pumps, looking for an opportunity to connect with Terrence Carter as tight end, and he does over the middle.
You got to go fast. You got a kicker in Stone Harrington who hit a 58-yarder against Utah. So if you get somewhere near the 41-yard line of BYU, you're in business.
Going to run the ball here with Williams as Williams takes it ahead before he's tackled by Latui.
Well, and if that had been a first down, the game clock would have stopped momentarily here under 2 minutes to go in the half. So precious seconds still ticking away.
On 3rd and short, remember they do have the 1 timeout remaining as Williams had a cutback against the grain. Oh, the ball's out, and it goes right into the hands of Terrence Carter.
It was Tanner Wall from BYU who came in and forced the fumble, and it takes an unbelievable bounce right into Terrace Carter Jr.'s hands. BYU fans can't believe it.
This is a play that could have been a tackle for loss. Instead, it's Texas Tech all the way down to the 25.
It was a great individual effort there by Williams just to get into the second level, and a very, very lucky bounce. Range now.
But after that bounce of the ball, they're all the way down to the 25 already. Morton, he's being pressured. No timeouts remain for Texas Tech as he is tackled at the 20.
Throw this thing up.
Downfield strike, and that's in 29 seconds in this first half. And a 3rd down and 7 for the Red Raiders. BYU drops 8. 40. Good elevation and rotation, and with that, a 13-7. Came down, had the
As well, BYU
offense. On that opening drive, of course, Bear Bachmeier, their true freshman quarterback, is all banged up. That is a concern.
injury, but it'd be interesting to see how it affects this play call.
Going to open up the second half with a completed pass. Martin played linebacker and running back in youth football. His dad said 47. That's for the most physical players, and Bear bought in at a young age and has kept it.
Well, that's a toughness too, Joe, that I just think resonates with his teammates. They know, everybody in that huddle right now knows that he's not 100%. And I guarantee you, Bear Bachmeier is not the type of player who's going to use it as an excuse or as a crutch. He wants to compete. This team and this offense rallies around him. Him playing with this, it galvanizes this offense.
First down, and here he is. Oh, look at that. You want to talk about physicality. He just ran over Ben Roberts.
And Ben Roberts is a 6'3", 240-pound linebacker. And you talk about galvanizing your offense. It's a play like that that'll do it. Just lower the boom, fall forward. You can't ask anything more. The definition of toughness you're seeing from BYU's true freshman quarterback right now.
May only be 6 yards, but it really tells you where he is right now, starting this second half, compared to where he was in that second quarter. Second and 4. That was dangerous as he was trying to get it to Moa. Katie.
Bachmeier, they only blocked him with the right tackle. What do you do if you're BYU? Do you chip with tight ends and running backs here to try to give Bachmeier some time?
Third down and 4. Let's get the answer. Bachmeier, no. That's a big reason why you see the pre-snap penalty. Roaring fans on a championship Saturday.
Bruce Mitchell, the center, early.
Half of the Big 12 football championship as they keep it on the ground. L.J. Martin's going to give him
off. The converted D tackle gets his hands on him and just gives L.J. Martin a little bit of space, a little stiff arm. He's able to move the sticks. Really impressed here. The first drive of the game and now the first drive of the second half. BYU has been able to execute. They've got it going right now, both running and throwing the football.
13 carries for Martin, 6 receptions. You brought it up earlier. If he's touching the ball a lot, BYU will have things on their terms. First down, a lot of traffic as Moa was the option for Bachmeier, who was thrown back.
Well, you don't see a lot of blitzing. We keep talking about this D line. That time, though, defensive coordinator Sheil Wood, he brings the corner off the edge, and it's Pollock, which they don't do a ton on film. I don't know if BYU was expecting that. Bachmeier, very lucky, was just able to get rid of that thing and throw it forward. If that had been a lateral, that would have been a live ball.
Pollock, one of the best corners in the entire Big 12. And he is making an impact early on here in this third quarter. 10th play of this drive coming for BYU. Bear Bachmeier, who injured his left ankle earlier today, trying to lead this team here. L.J. Martin cannot find anything against the middle of that defensive line.
Well, this is a really good run defense, and they've got big bodies up front. They average 6'3", 280 across the board. They eat up blocks, and that time, that allowed Jacob Rodriguez to get through the wash and make a big tackle, now setting up 3rd and long. And another question now for Aaron Roderick, the offensive play caller for BYU. How do you choose to scheme up this pass rush? How many guys can you get out? And can you give your QB an opportunity to get rid of the ball?
3rd down and 9. David Bailey, you know he loves this down and distance. The edge rusher going to test that left tackle here. Bachmeier back to pass. Bailey's right in his face as they tried to go underneath to Kingston, but it's incomplete.
Well, it'll take him a long time to get to the quarterback off the edge.
The redshirt senior Will Farron comes in for the 46-yard attempt. And that was not well struck.
Up the leads.
What this would mean to have a low
8-0 school in Katie.
finals. Baron Morton and his father, James Morton, never had the opportunity when James was coaching his son at Eastland High. Baron said he called his dad earlier this week and said, "Dad, we're finally playing at AT&T, a special moment for the Morton family test."
Is it ever? James, who talking about James and Barron and what this means to Joey himself. There's Williams on 2nd and 8. Oh, he kept his balance.
Well, Tess McGuire said, I mean, think about what this would mean to have a Lubbock native help this team win its first Big 12 title. McGuire said this kid has been doubted. He's persevered. He's fought through injuries. He embodies toughness. He's played at a high level. I thought McGuire's emotion said it all.
And he's able to connect, Jesse, after that great run by Jacoby Williams. He connects with Aiken.
What did his dad say to Joey McGuire? When we win this one, I want a photo of you walking off the field with my son. And that almost brought Joey McGuire to tears. I mean, talking to us, he understands everything he's been through throughout his collegiate career and this opportunity, and what it means to him.
2nd and 5. Here's Virgil. And Virgil stretches out just beyond midfield. He's tackled by Alexander.
Yeah, Virgil's been the guy in the pass game. That's now his 6th catch for Texas Tech, and they're finding different ways to get him going. He's a size-speed matchup problem for BYU.
Williams again, and Jacoby Williams is having a good drive here.
Well, it's such a good duo they've got with Dickey, and then you've got Williams, and you're starting this thing inside, and you're able to bounce this thing outside. He's got a little bit more burst and a little bit more speed than Dickey, and really good feet. Obviously had the fumble there at the end of the first half. Ball security is going to be at the top of his mind, but you can just see so explosive. And I'll tell you too, Joe, he's a big weapon in the passing game. You can throw him the ball down the field.
And good in special teams as well to motion him to be a receiver. And now Cameron Dickey comes in for Williams. Win would do to those sitting close to the edge, right on the bubble. 1st and 15. That is incomplete. Couldn't connect with Douglas.
This time they bring the tight end Miller in motion to get a block, and that goes right through Douglas's hands. He doesn't have a catch yet in this game, and for this offense to reach full capacity, they need number 5 making plays vertically down the field.
And consider he's 4th in the Big 12 in receiving yards, top 7 in touchdowns. 2nd and 15. Morton looking to extend the play, direct traffic, and he does so and does connect with Caleb Douglas just when they needed it.
Well, it's a great job by Morton that time, pointing Douglas back to the sideline on the scramble drill. He's going to work this way. Watch his body language here. As Douglas curls, he just points him to break out of it, and 2 guys on the same page working to find open space, and finally, they get Douglas going.
So a 23-yard reception, and it's a 1st down. The 22-yard line of BYU for Tech. Just
Oh, that might be live.
It is not. They're saying it was a forward pass, but it was so awkward to fake the pitch and then balloon that ball in the direction
It was just
of the running back.
very nonchalant on the throw, and a very dangerous throw. And you had a BYU defender outside. It was Tavion Beasley that was in position to maybe make a play on this. Watching this again, I'm just surprised. It's just sort of the nonchalant, this whole thing. I mean, that to me looks like, watching it live, I thought that might be a fumble.
Second and 10. They go with the reverse motion with Carter.
Touchdowns. They're 0 for 1 so far in this one as well. They've got to find a completion here. Help cap this drive off. Keep this thing going.
Dickey and Williams in the backfield together, and now all of a sudden Dickey splits out to the top of your screen on 3rd and 8. There's the red zone number on the season. Morton on 3rd and 8 as it's going to be 4th and 2. Now Dickey's going to take the direct snap and give it back to Morton. Morton on 4th and 2.
Come back here.
He got a flag.
Sione
On his right arm, there was no pass interference called. I think there should have been, but that was a missed call.
I have a feeling the reason it wasn't called was because the ball was thrown short and it bounced well short of the receiver. If it had been close, I think he'd got a flag.
Was a turnover on downs moments ago. Bear Bachmeier. Being pressured, he escapes. Remember, he's dealing with that left ankle as he makes his way. Lots to be determined right here. 3rd down and 4. Bachmeier with time. Oh, what an interception by Roberts! Point blank, stabbed it. Ben.
With 27 takeaways coming into this game, 2nd best in college football. And Ben Roberts, a freshman All-America a year ago, comes up with a massive takeaway here.
What a play. And now Dickey right in! Cameron Dickey!
The very next snap, Cameron Dickey takes it in for a touchdown.
And with a 19-7 score, the offense is on the field going for 2. It's Texas Tech.
And they're going for 2.
Try to make it 21-7. And Carter's going to do just.
They'll drive off the right.
All of a sudden, with this score
Alive.
their best season in 17 years. And if this score holds up, it's going to feel even better. L.J. Martin now is met and
You've got to find a way, and your offense has to find a way to respond here. And obviously, it's a 2-touchdown game. It doesn't mean you have to throw it every single play, but there is a different sense of urgency right now. And I think BYU fans, they're starting to feel that.
all of a sudden it turns into a whole lot of hope for those BYU faithful. 2nd and 9. Martin. Just a couple yards. Chris?
Bear Bachmeier becoming increasingly more frustrated in his inability to operate at 100%, constantly testing that left ankle.
gut it out, Chris. The good news for him is the injuries to the left ankle, which means as a right-handed quarterback, he can still drive off the right foot. It shouldn't affect his velocity too much. The question, though, can they give him a clean pocket to throw into?
3rd down and 6. That was out to Joe. He can punt with both his right and his left. Rugby-style Aussie, 28 years old, as he drives the ball downfield, but it takes a Texas Tech back.
Never been to this game before. Never won a conference championship here in the Big 12 before, and so a little bit of a different energy here today.
Can BYU gain any momentum back? Final seconds of the 3rd quarter. Bachmeier, as he gets it complete to Kingston.
I am sad.
Middle was Ben Robertson.
Around, and now we start this 4th quarter with Bachmeier and BYU on offense on 1st down. There's a shot downfield. Seemed like
For receiver and Chase Roberts.
a tender left ankle on Bear Bachmeier, the true freshman quarterback. Been fighting through the pain. And now trying to fight back. Throw! Ball is out! That whole thing just exploded. And Romello Height.
Handoff or whatever that was supposed to be. And now 2 critical takeaways for Texas Tech here in the second half is just changing the complexion of this game.
If you want to know why Texas Tech is a national title contender, look no further than the sudden impact plays of the front 7 on defense. We saw it with Roberts. You just saw it with Holmes and Height. And now Williams takes it to the 20-yard line.
Nope. In the country in scoring defense to number 3 this year.
Incredible.
They're getting up 24 points less per game. And yes, they have Rodriguez. They've got some outstanding players on defense, but it's really because of these defensive line portal additions.
Aaron Morton on 2nd and 6 as Williams is wrapped up right away.
Bailey coming from Stanford, Height coming from Georgia Tech. Lee Hunter started his career at Auburn with Gus Malzahn, followed him to UCF. Then A.J. Holmes played at Houston for their current defensive coordinator, Sheil Wood, who is back at Houston, brings him over with them. And it's just completely changed this defense.
As has the Matador Club, the booster club that has put forth millions to fund these football student athletes and the success that they want to see on the field as Morton is wrapped up. 44-yard attempt by Harrington. And it's 24.
Infuse, not just through high school, but with the portal, 2 great additions to their staff as the O coordinator and D coordinator. And they're humming.
Bachmeier. It is intercepted again.
Be a Heisman finalist. He's the Butkus Award winner. But the interior linebacker that's made the most plays in this one is big number 13, Ben Roberts.
Cameron Dickey has met at the line of scrimmage. With what they offer up with defensive talent.
Well, they passed the eye test to me. And you, Katie, and I, we spend a lot of our time in the SEC. We watch really good teams like Georgia and Alabama and Texas A&M. But when you watch Texas Tech's defense and their starters, especially that D-line, that front 4, they are as talented as anybody. And this defense gets takeaways.
Those big stashes for the fans. Those big stashes for the linebacker. Any matchup, any team having to deal with Texas Tech in that front 7. That defense overall. 3rd and 11 as Morton just tries to go.
Different, and really the big reason is the defense.
And Harrington. You can bet my Woods defense. been a defensive coordinator with 5 different teams in 5 years. Been at Army and Troy, Tulane, Houston, but the success here at Texas Tech is unprecedented in terms of improvement.
And everywhere he's been, the defense allows fewer points than the year before, and they get more turnovers than the year before.
Bachmeier, as he goes underneath to Carson Ryan.
Just don't know if you can dink and dunk your way back into this one. If you're BYU, you're down 2 touchdowns and a field goal, and I don't know if BYU is explosive enough throwing the ball down the field. They took a shot to Chase Roberts recently and got a pass interference call, but I think you're going to have to, at some point, just trust this O-line, and Bear Bachmeier is going to have to make some throws into small windows down the field.
Pitch to Martin on 3rd and 2, and he's going to lose. Trailing by 17 from their own 37. Bachmeier, and it is Jacoby Williams.
Tempo offense. They're going to slow it down now, take their time, substitute, just try to get as many seconds off the clock. Head coach Joey McGuire.
Eight and a half minutes to play to a championship. As Williams, what do you make of them at this?
Struggled on offense, but how many times has their defense stepped up in sudden change situations? They don't get the fake punt. They going to play in this game, and how will that affect them running and pass protection?
They're down in 2. It has been a struggle offensively for BYU ever since that first drive. This is 4th and 2 as Texas Tech looking to put this game away. On 4th down, they get it into space to Aiken, and Aiken inside the 10 and into the end zone for another
catch, but staying in bounds, cutting upfield. And I just feel like moments ago, this was a one-possession game. It's completely changed.
Ben Roberts with the 2 interceptions. The forced fumble and the fumble recovery with Holmes and Height. And then the explosive 24. Oh, that's how ball is. L.J. Martin. Oh, that's how ball is out again, and it just continues to roll downhill. And keep in mind, it was BYU early for their lone touchdown drive.
Championships and playoff spots as well. That was a big get for them to keep him from going to Penn State. But he's a guy that played football here. He got the commitment financially to keep his staff and NIL opportunities and revenue sharing to keep him home. Easily one of the best coaches in the country.
Was joined the Big 12 3 years ago, finding themselves in a championship game. To the end zone they go.
For the most part, BYU's corners on islands did a really good job. Pad in the jersey of Virgil down the field. The Texas Tech has outside. It's that pick your poison dilemma you're in if you're on defense, because if you leave these guys on islands, man, they can burn you.
Williams met at the line of scrimmage.
Big discussion. It's probably the most important discussion the committee is going to have this weekend.
Here's Virgil. As Virgil trying to stay on his feet inside the 10-yard line, coming up on 5 minutes to play. Schoonover with the tackle. What an incredible job by Joey McGuire, a guy who is so tapped in with the Texas high school football coaches. Of course, he's in the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame. You add that into what they've been able to do. You brought it up in terms of their general manager and how active they are and aggressive they are in the portal. And it's the perfect combination to put together this roster. It's incomplete. What it is in player acquisition right now. You need that. You need to act quickly and strike quickly. And that is this close. They played the game with all due respect. The importance of a regular season, of games, of results. 34-7. Texas Tech so impressive in this second half. L.J. Martin, remember, he started the day with a touchdown. Hockmeyer on 3rd and 12. That's incomplete.
To get 3 or more takeaways a game, they've actually won up that with 4. And that guy right there, if you ask me who's the MVP of this football game, I think it's Ben Roberts.
And there is the Butkus Award winner, J-Rod, Jacob Rodriguez. Ben Roberts, the first player in Big 12 championship history with multiple interceptions. Star quarterback gives way to Mitch Griffiths. Cameron Dickey takes it. 1955. It was the Border Conference back then. And here we are at this point of college football with they have done it. Let the party begin here at AT&T Stadium. Katie is with Joey McGuire. Katie.
Thanks, Tess. Coach McGuire, for the first time in Texas Tech program history, the Red Raiders are Big 12 champions. What kind of moment is this for you?
It's incredible. Man, I've said it all year long. Our superpower on this team is that how much we love each other. And then you look around and all this red. I'm so proud for us. I'm so proud for Red Raider Nation. It's incredible. Incredible.
You say take 3, you got 4.
Yeah, we did.
How impressive was that defensive performance in the second half?
Well, what's crazy, I mean, hats off to our training staff because Ben Roberts got banged up really early with an ab issue, and they were able to freaking get it loosened up, and that joker came up with some big plays. But that's what we do. We take the ball away, and if you take the ball away, give it to this offense, good things are going to happen.
12-win season, first time in program history. Big 12 title, first time you're going to the college football playoff. Why was this the group to be able to accomplish all that and possibly more?
Just the leadership. Baron Morton, Bryce Ramirez, Jacob Rodriguez, just the guys that were been here from the get-go. And then we went and got some really special kids, and they bought into everything that we asked them to do.
You're Texas through and through. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Tess.
Is he ever Texas through and through? Chris.
Ben, congratulations. As a kid that grew up in the Metroplex area, in this building, to bring home Texas Tech's first Big 12 championship, what does this mean for you?
Oh, it's massive. I used to come to games here as a kid. I remember just a couple years ago, I was at the Alabama-Cincinnati playoff game, and this is a special moment for me.
What do you hope the country learned about the Stash Crew today?
That we're a special group. I don't know if any linebacker group can play with us.
There's been a lot of emotions around this team, and we just heard from your head coach, Joey McGuire, who was equally as emotional. For that guy, also a Texas guy, what does it feel like to be able to help bring him home a championship?
It's massive. We get Lettermans, and he said once we win the Big 12 championship, he'll take his Letterman, so he's finally getting it. I'm so happy for him.
Still a lot to be played for you guys, and in all likelihood, you get a bye. As you look forward to the playoffs, what do you hope the country saw today out of Texas Tech?
That we can play with any team in the country. We really are who we say we are, and I'm looking forward to everyone seeing that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Jesse, they have 12 wins by over 20 points. 12.
It's just pure domination. Every time they take the field, it's very seldom, I think, you can look at a college football team over the course of a year and not be able to identify a weakness or a hole. But that's what I feel like when I watch a lot of film on Texas Tech, and what we saw here today in this game as well. On either side of the football, they're very special. They've got a lot of playmakers, and we'll go back and touch on this again. You cannot say enough about this defensive line, those special players that Joey McGuire was just telling Katie about, that they were able to bring in through the portal and Ramel.
Right? Because you know
This playoff, Miami.
For today's 2025 Edwards Jones Big 12 Football Championship Trophy presentation. Here to lead our ceremony is ESPN's Katie George. Katie, take it away.
On behalf of the Big 12 Conference, we'd like to thank BYU fans and Texas Tech fans for traveling to Arlington to support both teams in the 2025 Edward Jones Big 12 Championship game. I'm joined now by Big 12 Chief Football and Competition Officer Scott Draper to present the Hell of a Good trophy and title belt to the Edward Jones 2025 Big 12 Championship Most Outstanding Player. Would you like to do the honors?
Do it.
Ben Roberts! Ben, I think it's important to note you got hurt in that first quarter, worked your way back into the game, and then had an incredible second half. What got into you to first two takeaways?
It's just my love for the team. I ride or die for these guys. I'll do anything for them.
31 takeaways after today's performance from this team. That's the most in college football. Why is this group so good at taking the football away?
Because we run to the ball. We attack it every chance we get. Yes, ma'am.
Do we think after the Stash Crew's performance today that Joey McGuire should grow out a mustache?
100%.
Congratulations, Ben. All right, now to present the Big 12 Championship Trophy, Commissioner Brett Yormark, as well as Edward Jones Managing Partner Penny Pennington.
All right, guys. First of all, I want to thank AT&T Stadium, Edward Jones, Penny Pennington. I want to thank the Dallas Cowboys, the Jones family. I also want to congratulate BYU on a great season, okay? But this season was all about Texas Tech. You know, today we set an all-time attendance record. Thank you, Red Raider Nation. I want to congratulate my good friend Joey McGuire. Coach, fantastic. Give him a hand. Give him a big hand. Give Coach a big hand. Okay. So now it's my honor to present the Edward Jones 2025 Big 12 Football Championship Trophy to Texas Tech.
Coach McGuire, congratulations. It's the first Big 12 title for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Can you put into words what this moment means for you?
Well, before we do that, Raider! 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 Let's go! I tell you, don't let the Red Raiders get hot. We have the best fans in the world, best university in the world. I am so lucky to have the president, Mr. Womble, Mr. Campbell, just on and on. But I'm going to tell you what. These guys love each other. That's our competitive advantage, is that these guys love each other so much, and they know how much I love them. I'm so proud of them today. But we're not done yet, boys.
Congratulations to the 2025 Edward Jones Big 12 champions, Texas Tech.
The sixth different Big 12 conference champion in the last 6 years. And how impressive are they? The first 12-win season in school history. Congratulations to Texas Tech. SEC championship game is coming up next.